We're here on this beautiful morning at Matt Anthony's Record Store, a 14-year record store open on Barrett Avenue. I got to interview the owner and local radio station operator, Matt Anthony. Let's go inside. Matt, thank you for having us today. What about owning a record store is so important to you personally?
Being surrounded by music, everything I do, I just have to have music. Is just, it kind of flows through me, and I just have to surround myself with it. I can just remember tons of music, and it's just I don't know what else I would do. Like I'm not good at math. I suck at baseball. I don't know.
So in a society where everything has become super digitalized, what do you think makes vinyl stand out, and why do you think it's catching on so much with current generations?
Well, first off, the digital quality of the music leaves a lot on the table. Scientifically, when you look at it, it goes from, you're basically this chain of vibrations, like a drum head is vibrating, your reed and your saxophone is vibrating, get really deep, your vocal cords are vibrating. So what vinyl does is it is the best transfer for vibrations. Digitally, you're telling a computer how to vibrate a speaker. So that's the technical part of it. We're standing in the jazz section right now. Right within reach of us are records from the 50s that you can play. They sound great. So you're talking now over 75 years. We could just plug something out of here, throw it on the turntable. What's your hard drive gonna do? What's your phone gonna be like in a year? What's your phone gonna be like in years? And these vinyl records will last. Yeah. Anita O'Day, Cole Porter. What's the date on this? 30s. No, 43. So this is going to be late 40s. Sounds great. We can play it right now, and you're always going to be able to play it on a turntable.
Good enough. Okay. So obviously Louisville has a phenomenal music scene, and it seems like it's growing more and more each year. What are you doing to sort of help support the local music scene and the youth?
Well, record shops are a hub for culture. And an exchange place for all that to happen, people to meet. When I go out, I do DJ. I've always highlighted, and the thing that endeared me to Louisville was the music. And when I came here, I started working at Ear Ecstasy, which back in the day was a, rest in peace, Ear Ecstasy. It was a 2-story, really hard to fathom. I've got a picture of just the vinyl section of Ear Ecstasy, and now it's stunning. You can't even believe that there's that much vinyl in one place. And that once again, that was in the early 2000s. So when people are like, vinyl's new, I'm like, no, I was ordering vinyl in the early 2000s. So and record shops used to be it only before before social media has kind of taken over as the hub of how you disseminate what's going on in town. But I still have places for flyers in my window. I always say flyers in a window is better than a social media post, because those people are actually out of the house doing something. They see the flyer. So places like that. And I always encourage and sell and champion Louisville music. It's really easy because Louisville music is so good. Any genre, any type of music you can think of, Louisville has a contender.
Well, Matt, thank you for participating in this interview today. Thank you. I'm here this morning with Ben Jones, owner and operator of Better Days Records since 1978. Ben, what really got you into the record store industry?
Well, actually, me personally, my family and myself have always told me that I've listened to music since I was in my 1-year-old to 2-year-old recognizing music. So I knew in my heart and soul when I was a teenager that I would probably get in the record industry. So when I went to college, I just kind of knew that that would be my passion and my drive to sell music, because I'm also a musician. So I play music also.
I love it. Okay, so in the digital age, as streaming services become more popular, why do you think records maintain relevancy, especially with the youth?
Oh, great question. And for me, I've always been an advocate of product, or at least being real. So this is a great time in the digital age for me to always still manufacture real versus fake, or real versus not real. And I know a tangible product or a real singer is more important in life and in the industry as what as technology allows things to happen. So sure, I always love for things to be more for the mind, body, and soul, and you can only do that by being a real person, real everything.
And we've sort of seen trends with like physical media in the past, like VHS tapes that have sort of fallen off, and they're getting a little bit of reconnaissance. But do you think records moving forward will still have that want factor, or do you think they'll fall off again?
No, that's actually one of the things, again, by me starting at a young age and still being in the game now, is because I stayed true to ourselves. Again, if we like physical product, it's not going to disintegrate just because there's a new fad or new purpose in life. So no, it's not. Our store it's never changed. I've always sold 45, 78s, 8 tracks, cassettes, whatever medium, the store itself has always sold it.
Do you sort of see genres sort of becoming more popular over time? Is there a particular genre that's sort of grown to dominate like what you sell, or has it always been kind of a mix of any genre?
Any genre, and then that's what makes the difference in being a popular record store, or even now we use the term indie record store. That means we get to choose more not popular things, but we like to try to turn people onto music. Again, the stores should be and used to start out for music lovers, not music listeners. A big difference. So people who love music want to be educated by the wisdom of the game. That usually is a great clerk, a owner who listens to music. I mean, I'm a 24/7 guy that listens to music. I mean, I don't stop listening to music, or there's something to do with music in my life, every day. So I don't forgot the question, but
I know some of your staff works as musicians as well, and you're a musician. What do you do for the local Louisville music scene, and how have you watched it grow over the years?
And that's a great question too. So I'm actually one of the original guys who brought in the first 12-inch singles in Louisville, brought in the first DJs that done actual mixing in Louisville, probably one of the first record stores who had an independent record label, who we've produced punk, rock, gospel, all genres, recorded, put out records in the early 80s. So yeah, we've helped the industry in Louisville to grow. We've definitely been a big part of that.
Well, Ben, thank you for your time today. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. I'm here with Sonia from Great Escape, which is owned and operated out of Bardstown Road for its 50th year this year. Sonia, what do you think has been the primary inspiration for a resurgence in vinyl?
Oh my goodness. Potentially a lot of different things. I think the concept of being vintage or retro really sunk into a lot of younger people who wanted to do things instead of just Spotify or online. They wanted something tangible and something cooler. I also wonder if people aren't starting to want to go back to the original formats of things instead of just everything being thrown at us online or on a screen and things like that.
So you think and you also own a comic book side of the shop as well, so you definitely think the physical media is sort of just...
Physical media is a bigger deal now, I think, to a lot of people, young and old, and I think it just leaves a better impression.
And do you see any changes in demographics as because I know you've been working here a long time? Have you seen a change in demographics over the years as far as vinyl goes?
Definitely younger people are reaching for even CDs, which is very unusual. But CDs, having the music that they can hold in their hands, potentially read the liner notes, which not sure many people do or even had access to doing when everything was just thrown to them on Spotify or different platforms like that.
And do you see certain genres sort of sticking out as more popular than others here? Because we've interviewed other people and they said no, we don't see a pattern. Do you see a pattern?
I don't really. I don't. I feel like there are people that come in and want, it shocks me sometimes when people want classical music or not just pop rock soul type stuff.
And you have a very big record collection to be half comic book shop, half music shop. So where do you source a lot of your materials from?
All from the public. It all comes to us from people that are selling what they don't enjoy or use anymore. And typically that's the story we hear. There are collectors that have just obtained too much and they've kind of either grown out of it, or it's just not something they can maintain anymore, or they don't enjoy it the way they used to, so they want to pass it on to the next, whether it's a different generation or just a different person that will appreciate it.
And last question, moving forward, you sort of hinted at it already in the first question, but how do you think like the future generations will sort of respond to physical media and vinyl? Do you think it'll keep going upward, or do you think it'll sort of stagnate?
I think it might plateau for a minute, but I think it's gonna stay, and I think it's going to continue to grow. I think that all of us are going to start realizing we want to hold our things and see, like literally hold the images or the product instead of just swiping it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Like it's just a more sentimental and important feeling to have it instead of just tap it.
Well, congratulations on 50 years.
Oh,
Thank you so much for
thank
this interview.
you.
Thank
Of
you.
course.